Hey, this is MassX with a brand new Gacha revenue report for November 2025. Before we start this, I've got some stuff I want to discuss during this video in reference to a few of these games I think are pertinent, but more importantly, remember these are all estimates. They do not include PC gaming. They do not include direct purchasing from the publisher or developer if they have that set up. So remember, take all this with a grain of salt. Sometimes it seems to be very accurate and sometimes not so much. So with that, let's dive in. And first and foremost, we will go to number one, and somebody that jumped up 7 spots, Honkai Star Rail. 81 million. Absolutely insanity with how much this company makes on a monthly basis between their games. Kudos to them, I guess. Arknights jumping to 41.5 million. That is absolutely insane. It almost doubled, getting the number 2 spot. And of course, with all the hype coming around with the closed beta on Arknights Enfield, they've got a lot of things looking up for them right now. Next, you got the Pokemon TCG Pocket at 41 million at 3. Love and Deep Space, which just will not go away. Did go down though. Then you have probably the biggest surprise hit of the year when it launched globally, and why they waited so long, who knows. Of course, is Uma Musume Pretty Derby. Absolutely great game. So fun to play. I wish I had the time to. Nikkei, as usual, is hovering around with Genshin Impact. Naruto Mobile, of course. I will say this every time I see it because it's always in the top 10 and it's a CN only. And why they could never bring it globally, I don't know. Shame on you, Bandai. Next, we have Wuthering Waves, Monster Strike, and SD Gundam, the probably biggest surprise hit. Even though it dropped to 16 million, it is just done absolutely bonkers. Bandai couldn't even screw it up. So kudos to the development team who actually put this one together. People seem to be really enjoying it. Then you've got the old guard, Fate Grand Order there with 13. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan, Chaos Zero Nightmare going up a couple spots, bringing in 10 million. No shocker there. People love it. I honestly was so excited for this game. I've played it. I continued my account, but I have a huge gripe with the game. The time commitment is too much. I find myself dragging at times, and I can do the basics, that's not the problem, but to really get in deep with the game at times, and to have that time commitment to go through certain areas that can take upwards of 20-30 minutes, it's just been very difficult for me to find and etch out those times, especially with some other games. And then when I was playing it, it really dawned on me, where have I seen this game before? And then I was starting to think about all the games that have come out through the years similar to this, but have never gotten this notoriety. And probably the best one out of all of them that I think a lot of people would argue is better than Chaos Zero Nightmare is Morimens. And they're in the midst of their 2-year anniversary right now, and I'm probably going to do a video on it because I decided to just pick it up during the 2-year anniversary, because I'll be honest with you guys, as many times I've been told to play it, I never did, and it was the biggest mistake of my last 2 years. I actually think that the game, it really lives up to the hype from the small player base that play it. It's great, and I've actually enjoyed it more than Chaos Zero Nightmare, but that's a lot of babbling there. We'll move on. Next with Zenless Zone Zero, Infinity Nikki, Puzzles and Dragons, all stuff. And now we got one I wanted to talk about. Bleach Soul Resonance. Yes. A long time coming. 8.3 million in basically 11 days. Pretty darn good. Now the breakdown is interesting on it when you take a look at it. The global portion to it is about only 1.3 million, and I really do think that is mainly because of having the stigmata of Crunchyroll games attached to it as publishing. If you look at the big numbers, of course, yeah. I mean, again, this dropped in so many countries, but CN is putting in probably the biggest numbers out of most places. But global, not shabby at 1.3. I think if they can continue to prove that the game globally is not going to get shafted compared to the CN and C versions, and basically Crunchyroll games is nothing more than a straw man for them, I think it will start to give people a bit more feeling safe with it, and that's what's missing. But I think it's a hell of a game. I absolutely love it. I like that you don't feel like you have to be pressured to do anything. You can just do your dailies and jump out, or you can go and play hard and shoot for some rankings on certain things. But in the end, it's all about enjoying this IP, and that's what it's doing. And now with the announcement, of course, we knew about Toshiro. We got Aizen and Gin coming up next, which is pretty crazy. That 3 tandem alone over the next 6 weeks. I don't see this game slowing down when it comes to revenue. Next, we got Marvel Contest of Champions. Then we got a whole host of other things from Seven Knights Rebirth. Let's see if there's anything else that's interesting me. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade. A big jump. They are having the for global anniversary kicking in, so that's not a shocker. Reverse 1999 is still doing well. They've really solidified their spot. Another game that, similar to Morimens and Chaos Zero Nightmare, just a very well built game. That one I had a harder time getting into the story. I enjoy the story much more so far in Morimens. I think it's actually out of the 3 the most enjoyable story I've had so far. If you like that type of dark, twisted story. So we've got One Piece Bounty Rush, whole host of things in here, what you would expect to see. Hazard Lane still kicking around the 5 million. Memento Mori, we will still question how that continues. Back to 5 million, what the hell? Stella Sora, who's had a very bumpy start, still 4 million. I would have thought they would have dropped off more, so maybe they're trying somehow keeping the base of players they have now so they don't drop anymore. That would be smart. Girls Front Line, even after all their drama, still plugging away. The Persona 5 Phantom X still doing same money there. Let's see if there's anything else. Etheria Restart. Oof, that's a big drop off. Okay, that's a big drop off. Ouch. Yeah, that game's being supported by CN. Global is pretty much bounced out of that one, so it's a shame. Good game, but I wasn't feeling it from the get-go. Kaiju number 8 dropping quite a bit. Another game that suffers from content problems. It's just too freaking repetitive and not enough differences in the gameplay. We've got Eminence and Shadow, a game I enjoyed, played for a long time, still putting away. Grand Summoners, they're having a tough time getting themselves. I mean, it's nice to see them go back to 1 million, but they've made some questionable choices in the last month. But that game's been around forever. Best anime collabs ever are in that game. Let's see, Silver and Blood. Oof, they are 2 months in a row under 1 million. That's a shame. Good game. It really is, and they had done a good job with it so far. Oof, Bleach Brave Souls taking another hit. Yeah, I don't think it's going to help them much with this new Bleach game being out. And that game, they've discussed, it can go cradle to grave, which means all the way through 1,000 Year Blood War, which is big, which means that game can go on for a long time. Let's go through here, take a look if there's anything else. I'm just kind of going through it so everybody can see it. Oh, my baby dropped again. Yu Hakusho Slugfest. Oh, at 260. No shocker, honestly. There's still been a lot of drop off of players. It's an idle game. It's if you're not a fan of Yu Hakusho, I don't know why you'd be playing it. But again, I mean, it's got to cost them next to nothing to make this. I don't see the game going anywhere. They just need to get their merges done at the beginning of the year. And I think things are hunky-dory for that and for us devoted Yu Hakusho fans to keep playing. Ironically, I talked about Outer Plane previously. They did 400, but they dropped to 260. They changed publishing companies, which was a good move. They've done a lot of improvements to the game. I think personally, their set fan base is pretty set in stone. The problem is getting new players over to a 2-year-old game. That's probably going to be more difficult than they realized. It's a shame. It's a good game. You've got a good publishing company trying. They've done some good stuff so far, especially with the rollovers for your pulls. And it's incredibly free-to-play friendly. They don't have a lot of content creators doing a lot on it. There's really only 2 I can think of off the top of my head, and one of them is questionable at that and kind of negative at times. The other one is pretty much consistent and on point with certain things. I think they just need some more publicity. I think they need a little bit more focus global and less focus in the Korean market in that area, because I think they have more chance of developing more players if they focused more outside of that region, because that's where they've seen better income. But we'll see what happens. It's a great game and it's easy to free to play on that game. So if you like that style of game, pick it up. You don't have to spend a cent and you'll enjoy yourself. What else do we got here? Oh, speaking of the devil, Morimens, which is so funny because, you know, they've never done a lot of money, but they've just hung around. They've been, like I said, 2 years, and I'm having a blast playing it right now during the 2-year Annie. I just think it's a very good game. Is it perfect? No game is perfect. But if you like Chaos Zero Nightmare, I mean, you know, I know this is a hot take, but I would argue that Morimens is a better game as a whole. And I'm not dissing Chaos. I think it's a great game also. Resident Solstice, that is kind of disappointing at 200k basically. I think this game's great. I love it. I find it incredibly relaxing, the train aspect to it. I never expected it to make big money. I was hoping it would make maybe like 500k, but it's in the publisher for this game is not a huge publisher. Their games aren't huge, so I don't see it not going anywhere if they can at all, as long as they're making a couple 100,000 a month. But it's such a good game. I've done quite a few videos on it. I think it's really one that it's a shame people aren't going to appreciate it and take the time to play it. It's a lot of fun. Anchor Panic taking another nosedive. That's a shame. Fun, silly booba game. Horizon Walker still hanging around. That one won't go away either. It's very independent based. It's never made big money, and if you like big boobas, you will really like that game. But it has amazing gameplay in it for that style of game, and it's fun and very tactical. Much better than most that you see like that. Going out, everything else is pretty much EOS, and you'll probably see a few that say EOS on them here. Wow, Elpis Fallen Star. Wow. Oof. That's such a shame. They buried themselves. It was their own problem. And Black Beacon, we know that one's going EOS. We also know, Assault Lily, Last Bullet, EOS. Tribe 9, we knew already. Rememento, we knew already. I thought there was another one, Black Beacon, which I spoke about, but I thought there was another one, which was a big shame and the shocker. Yeah, Goddess Order, that's also going EOS. Man, it's a good game, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. But that's going to kind of do it for us with this Gacha revenue roundup. If we can go to the home page real quick, though, we can take a look here. Yeah, you can see biggest revenue decrease Goddess Order. It's because they announced EOS. Overfield, new game, nothing spectacular out of that one. Not a bad game though, from what I've heard from people. Bleach Soul Resonance killing it, like we talked about, and some of our upcoming releases such as Fairy Tail Wizard Chronicle that comes out in 2 days. I'm not expecting anything from that. It's going to be your standard idle game. Probably only devout Fairy Tail fans will play it. I'll give it a shot, but I haven't seen anything that impresses me about that game at all. So, alrighty, everybody, let's wrap this up. Hope you had a nice holiday if you celebrated anything last week. So, with that, as always, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Have a great day.